Hello and welcome to Introduction to Psychology. I wanted to start off this week by getting you oriented to our Moodle page and what the class will be like. The first section of Moodle, called Start Here, will cover the basics of what you'll need throughout the course. You'll want to check back here frequently and be sure to read the general guidelines with tips and pointers on how to do well in the class. Also in the Start Here section, if you have questions, the help forum is a great resource. I encourage you to post questions here and answer other people's questions. I will be monitoring this closely, but this is also primarily a place for you to help each other. And I will give you credit if you choose to participate, extra credit if you choose to participate in this forum. Also in this section, I have a rubric for the discussion forum. So you'll have several discussion forums due throughout the course, so be sure to review these guidelines to ensure that all of your posts meet the excellent criteria and you get full credit for these assignments. One of the most important documents in this general section is the syllabus. And the syllabus looks like this. I've started with my contact information, and email is the best way to contact me. Please note that I will respond to emails within 24 hours Monday through Friday, but I don't respond to emails over the weekend. So what this means is it's really important for you to start looking at your assignments before the weekend so that you can contact me if you have questions. I've also got the course description and course goals, so you can get a sense of what we'll be covering and information about the textbook. In terms of how to succeed in this class, there's a lot of material in a short amount of time. A typical course in the fall or spring lasts 15 weeks and we meet 3 hours per week. In the summer, we're cramming all of that into 5 weeks. If you calculate it out, this means that you should plan to spend about 9 hours per week on the course. So in order to succeed, you really need to stay on top of the material, you need to do the assignments, and you need to ask questions when you have them and be prepared to ask questions early on. Since we'll do a fair amount of discussion forums, I've posted next some kind of general guidelines for what's expected when you're interacting on Moodle. These should help keep our discussion forums running smoothly and should also help keep people engaged. So please be sure to review these guidelines and communication style information before you start posting. In terms of your grade on the course, your grade will be 40% assignments, 60% tests. You'll have 2 assignments per week, and these assignments are really designed to help you understand the class material. Now, several of the assignments are set up on Moodle as a quiz, which means that it'll give you immediate feedback as to whether or not you have the right answer. For any of those quiz assignments, you can submit them as many times as you'd like, so if you want to redo them, you're welcome to. The other types of assignments you have will either be a discussion forum or a worksheet that needs to be uploaded. Those can only be submitted once. And then, of course, tests you can only take once. They cover text and outline material, additional materials that we use. There's 1 test per chapter. Each test will be 20 multiple choice questions, and you'll have 25 minutes to complete them. I've also got more information about course policies and procedures, about assignments, email etiquette, things like that, so please review those as well. If we go back to our Moodle page, another important piece of information is the course schedule, which is right here. This is what your course schedule looks like. I've broken the schedule down by week, and what this schedule essentially does is parallel what's on Moodle and tells you what you need to do each week. I'd encourage you to print this off and keep a hard copy, and then you can check off each item as you're finished. So during the first week, once you've posted to the Introduce Yourself forum, you can check that off, and so on. Going back to Moodle, as I mentioned before, once we get past that general information section, everything is organized by week. So throughout the week, what you'll want to do is go through the sections, which are organized by chapter. Most weeks will cover 2 chapters, but there is 1 week that will cover 3. So our first week's assignment will be due on Sunday, July 13th at 11:55 p.m., and we'll start with some introductory materials. So you've got an Introduce Yourself forum, which asks you to share a little bit about yourself. And there's a syllabus quiz to make sure that you've read and understand the course criteria, and some study tips. And then we'll move down to Chapter 1. For Chapter 1, you'll have a reading. You'll have a video to watch. I've given you an outline of notes that you should be familiar with. And then there's a correlations and experiments worksheet that you'll need to save and then submit. For the first few weeks, we're going to be skipping around a little bit in the book, so the second chapter that we're going to be covering is actually Chapter 5, so please just kind of be aware of that. For Chapter 5, I've given you a lot of examples, some opportunities to test yourself, and then you have an assignment on operant and classical conditioning that is graded. And then finally, the test. So that's the basic structure of how the course will work. If you have questions about anything, please feel free to contact me via email. I look forward to hearing from you and reading your introduction on the Introduce Yourself forum. Have a great week.